authorities. First is the Central Board of Direct Taxes. Second is Directors General of Income Tax. Third is Directors of Income Tax or Commissioners of Income Tax. Fourth is Deputy Directors of Income Tax or Deputy Commissioners of Income Tax. Fifth is Assistant Directors of Income Tax or Assistant Commissioners of Income Tax. These are the authorities or the powers who collect the tax or who are the part of the income tax to collect the taxes. Next is income tax officers, tax recovery officers, inspectors of income tax, additional directors of income tax, and joint directors of income tax and joint commissioners. So we don't just have only one or two officers who just collect the tax and make the records. We have the number of officers according to its rank and according to their job specification, that they collect the tax and keep an eye on the record of the income tax, and the different officers have the different duties and designations. Then we come to the importance of the assessing officer, right? So before this we should know that who is assessing officer. Assessing officer is the person who keep an eye on the tax assess. That means we know that the individual or the partnership firm or a Hindu undivided family and other criteria, they all pay the tax, right? So whether they are paying in the right amount according to the right slab rate, and whether the documentations are up to the mark or not, all such the aspect are being covered by the assessing officer. So what is its importance? So first is assessing officer plays a very vital role in the organizational setup, which we have discussed, that the assessing officer plays a very important role in the organization setup, that whether the organization is being run according to the companies act, according to various sections or not, and when they have clubbed the income, whether they have clubbed it according to the income tax act or not. So all that setup is being checked by the assessing officer. Second is prime authority who initiates proceedings and directly connected with the public. Assessing officer is that officer who has a direct connection with the public in relation in context to the income tax, as keep an eye on the assessing on the public, whether they are paying the tax or not. So it has the prime authority that assessing officer can initiate the action or take the action against any person in regard to the income tax, and has a direct connection with the public. Third is orders passed by him can be challenged only on appeal. If the assessing officer has passed any order against any public or the company that the particular criteria is not in accordance with the law or is not in accordance with the income tax act, so he can pass an order against that individual or the company, and that order can only be challenged only when any appeal is filed against him in the court. Unless we cannot take any action or we cannot deny the order given by the assessing officer. Appointment of income tax authorities. Now we'll study that in the first slide we have studied that we have the number of income tax officers, right, and their powers according to their jurisdiction. Now the next thing comes that who appoint the income tax authorities. First is the central government. Central government has the power to appoint it. So power of central government. Third is power of the board and other higher authorities, like the income tax board and the other higher authorities has the power. Third is power to appoint executive and ministerial staff, right? So income tax authorities may these are the persons or the authorities who have the power to appoint the persons. Now in first we have started the Central Board of Direct Taxes. So what is CBDT? Since 1st January 1964, the Central Board of Direct Taxes has been charged with all matters relating to various direct taxes in India, and it derives its authority from the Central Board of Revenue Act 1963. That means they are saying that from 1st January 1964, the Central Board of Taxes have been given charge that they can take all the decisions in regard to the direct taxes, and this authority has been given by the Central Board of Revenue Act 1963. That means in 1963 the act was passed, and in 1964 that has come into existence. Next is the Central Board of Direct Taxes, that is CBDT, is a part of Department of Revenue in the Ministry of Finance. If students have known that we have a different Ministry of Finance, so the Ministry of Finance, so the CBDT, that means that board or that authority which collects the tax, or which keep an eye on the taxes, that is a part of the Ministry of Finance. The CBDT provides inputs for policy and planning of direct taxes in India. That means all the major decisions in regard to the taxes is being taken by the CBDT, and is also responsible for administration of direct tax laws through the Income Tax Act, IT department. The CBDT is a statutory authority functioning under the Central Board of Revenue. That means the CBDT, whatever kind of decision or the plans they are making, that they have to make under the functions of the Central Board of Revenue Act in 1963. That means in the year in which the act was passed. The officials of the board in their ex officio capacity also function as a division of the ministry. They also has a function in relation to that of the ministry, or in accordance with the ministry, dealing with the matters relating to levy and collection of direct taxes. The CBDT is headed by chairman and also comprises 6 members, all of whom are ex officio special secretary to the government of India. That means if we say that CBDT takes all the decisions regarding the income tax and also functions according to it. So this department is being headed by the chairman and other 6 members, and out of them all other ex officials, right, and special secretary to the government of India. The chairman and members of the CBDT are selected from the Indian Revenue Services, whose members constitute the top management. That means if you're saying that the CBDT is being run by the chairman and other 6 official ex-officer members, so that members are being selected by the Indian Revenue Service, whose members constitute the top management of the IT department. Matlab, the members of the Indian Revenue Services are of high priority and of high level. So those members select the members of the CBDT. The chairman and every member of CBDT are responsible for exercising supervisory control over definite areas of field offices of IT department known as zones. That means when the members of CBDT exercise their powers in collection of income tax or another function they perform in the according to the zones. That means which zones come under the which authority and how they have to run it. Various functions and responsibilities of the CBDT are distributed amongst the chairman and 6 members, with only fundamental issues reserved for collective decision by the CBDT. That means all the decisions is being distributed among the members so that there is no clash of work, and each and every aspect is covered. The areas for collective decision by the CBDT include policy regarding discharge of the functions of the CBDT and of the union government under the various direct tax laws. They also include general policy relating to, that means they also covered all the functions of the CBDT, and this come under the IRS system, and they also include the policy that relates to the other members. What are the powers of the CBDT? Instruction to subordinate authority. That means those authorities which are lower to CBDT, they give instructions to those authorities of orders issued by way of relaxation of certain provisions under section 119 subsection 2a. That means they also pass certain orders in context to the certain relaxation in certain terms. Orders giving a extension of time limit. If they think that the time limit needs to be extended, then they also give orders in relation to that. Orders giving relaxation for claiming deduction. They can also give orders for deduction under section 119 subsection 2c.